Welcome to the shop, everybody. This is kind of crazy. It's like 2 Lotto drawings in just a few days, so kind of a rare occurrence around here. But I had the Veterans Day knives done for quite a while. I wanted to make sure that those were done on time and ready to go. In the meantime, I'd been building these knives. So we have a Lotto happening today. Couple of announcements I want to do before we hit this Lotto, and it's good to see people in the chat. Good luck to everybody is what I see overwhelmingly, except for Member Spin says, I personally wish you all bad luck. I get that. So a couple of announcements that I want to go over. There are some big changes coming here at the end of this year for me and my knives. The first of those being, this will be one of the last regular Lottos that I will be running. I will be starting a new system. I think that the word has kind of been sneaking around a little bit, going through the secret channels and whatever. But I will be doing a system very similar to those. If those of you that know, that follow Keennison Knives know how their system runs, I'm going to do a system very similar to that. Now, that system will benefit those of you that have native tags, native numbers. That's why I did this Lotto this way. So the first persons, the first people that will be able to get in on those lists, I guess for those of you that don't know how Keennison runs, and I probably should explain it. Basically, I will have a category. So I have a certain number of models that I will go through. So for example, one will be the Tengu. Within the Tengu, there's the Tengu JM, the Tengu OS, the regular Tengu, the Tengu Mini, the Micro Tengu, the Maglock. So we have all those models that will fall under the Tengu. There will be a certain number of spots where you'll be able to buy into the books. So there'll be a $50 buy-in. That buy-in will get credit towards a knife. So it's not just, I'm not trying to scam some money off the top. That $50 will go towards the purchase of the knife once you pick one. And then I will basically still build knives like I do the things that I want to do, and then I will present that to whichever list that is. Then they'll be able to choose, okay, I want that one. So this buy-in will it'll guarantee you the opportunity to buy a knife. It's not a guarantee of buying a knife, and there are a lot of details that will be posted on the website soon. So watch for that, and hopefully, I'm hoping that things are coming through okay so that this message goes through. But very important stuff. That's going to be a new advancement. Now, the first people that will be able to get in on that list are people who have native numbers. Then after they're done, then I'll have everybody else will have a chance to do that. Now, that does not mean that Lottos are over. Thanks, LJ. I appreciate that. It's up there, man. That doesn't mean that Lottos are over. Lottos will continue. For example, my regular ones, like Christmas, which is coming up. I will do a Christmas batch. It will be a Lotto. You'll be benefited by having native numbers, just like in these Lottos here. If you have a native number, it gives you a lot more chances to get ins. There's no limit on how many numbers you can have. You can buy them, you can trade them, whatever. I'm not keeping track of them, but if you win, you need to prove to me that you've got that tag. That's the only caveat. So Lottos will continue. I'll continue to do things like scavenger hunts, like the pumpkin carving contest, things like Veterans Day. I'll be doing raffles for charity. Next month, watch for that. There will be a charity raffle. Next item up, there's a lot of things here. So hopefully, hopefully you can all keep track. I've got some t-shirts coming up. I have a new design that will be popping up here at the end of the week. I'll put that on the website as a pre-order, and then those will get shipped out so that hopefully you have them by the beginning of December. If you want them for like a Christmas present or whatever, those will be out. And then the last thing I have, I mentioned the charity, and we're working on that. That's going to be a big deal. I'm going to build a very special, specific knife for that. In fact, a little heads up, I'm headed down to southern Utah where Devin Thomas lives, and I'm going to try my hand at some forging of stainless Damascus. We're going to see how that goes. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. Some of that may end up on a very special charity raffle knife that will be happening next month. So that is just a little sneak peek of what's happening. So hopefully those of you that have been blessed with so much as I feel I have will be able to give on that and help someone that really, really needs it this time of year. So with all of that said, let's get to the Lotto. I'm going to grab these knives and kind of show you guys real quick. I know this is running a little longer than normal. First one up is our tumbled blade on this copper. It's actually shredded carbon fiber on this guy. A bunch of these are both thumb stud, as this one is, and flippers. So you can see the little micro tab, right? Next one up is probably, I believe if we look on here, this one might be, yes, this one was our most popular one. This one got the most entries. And I would attribute that to a few factors, one of which being that this is MagnaCut. I believe this is the MagnaCut one. And also it has the yellow Westinghouse. So this is the yellow stuff that I've done one with a black line that goes down the middle. That's the crosscut version. This is the regular laid up version. So if you can see it on here, you can see the brown fade underneath that comes up to the yellow. Again, flipper and thumb stud on that one. Another flipper and thumb stud, the green. I think that this one got a pretty fair amount of entries. You can see that with this vintage green, when you shape it right, it shows that kind of pixelated matrix looking pattern that's in this material, which is really cool. This one, I believe, is the one that got the second most. Let's look here and see. Yes, the Blackwood got the second most entries. So this one has the dark hand rub blade, and then this stabilized African Blackwood. Really hard to portray on the pictures, but on this video, but it's pretty killer stuff. This one is a thumb disc only. And I was a little bit surprised that that was a preference. And then of course we've got this little beast here. This is thick. So for perspective, let's grab this Blackwood one. I don't know if you can get an idea here of just how much thicker this one is. If you can see. Get the blade out of this guy. You can see just how thick this Damascus is. So those are the ones. Trying to keep up on my commentary here. Armageddon Outdoors hats, yes, I am working on that as well. Those will be soon, but not yet. So I am working on that. Essentially the hats, like you can see this one, it'll probably be very similar where it's got, where is that? It's got my logo on the back. Then on the front here, it just has Ozer knives. I'm going to be changing that so that it looks more like this. The front will be like that. That is the goal. So yes, hats are coming. And yeah, so watch for that as well, but not yet. I'm working on it, working on that now, but they take a little bit longer than shirts, so we're getting there. So with knives, all the announcements, everything going on, and don't worry if you didn't keep track. I just wanted to let everybody know, but I'll be obviously announcing it, trying to be more active on social media so that people know what's going on. The reality is my wife's helping me now, and so she's a lot better at that than I am, so things are happening. Anyway. Let's get to the drawing. So the way I'm going to run this drawing is I'm going to go with the knife that has the most entries and then kind of go down from there. If you are drawn in one Lotto, you can still technically be drawn in another. It has happened. The way that I'm doing this, where it's each knife individually, I think that it's a hard thing because it makes it more work. And sorry for that. That's my machine there in the background. It makes it more work for the entries, and I know that's a little bit hard and time consuming, and I'm still trying to work on a good way of making that better. But I think that it makes it smoother for everyone because then you just enter for the ones you want. a lot of people I know are like me, and there's something specific you want, and I appreciate that, and I want to help you get that. It helps make so that the lotto's not so massive. Instead of like 400 or 500 entries, there's like 200 entries per. So it's a lot better odds for each knife because the people that are entering may not want that knife or whatever. Anyway, so hopefully that all makes sense. So first one up, and on all of these, just so that you can all see, that did something weird. All these start on number 2 because number 1 says your name. So as I do this in the random number, I'm going to start with number 2. And this first one goes to 218. So we will go 2 to 218. Generate this guy, 181, right down here on the bottom. Sergey, and I don't know your last name, but we'll find that later. And I'm going to do one alternate just in case I can't reach the person or whatever. In case they do get drawn for 2, but they only want to buy 1, I'll do an alternate. So let's do an alternate on this one. 154. And Josh, you are my alternate on this one, my man. Okay, next, and that one was for, sorry, I didn't tell you what that was for, did I? That is for the yellow Westie. That was the one that got the most. This one is for the Blackwood. And looks like Stevens, you got in there just like right under the wire, my man. Okay, actually, let's refresh this page and start afresh. 214. Generate 48. Here we go up top. I know as I scroll, Max, you got choice number 1 on this guy. I had to know that you would want something with wood on it, huh? Some of that nice stabilized black wood, and then let's get an alternate 148. Alan, you got my alternate on this one. Okay, the next one up is the vintage green. So refresh this page. We'll go to 204. Generate 109. Regulate. Can you tell it's been a long day? It's been a long day. I think somebody said in the chat that they're going to lose their mind if Chris won. And Chris won. He's one of the luckiest guys I know, although I do think he has quite a number of native tags. I think he has accumulated. Let's do an alternate here at 163. And that is Steven. You are my alternate. Okay, the next one up is the copper shredded carbon fiber. Let's renew. And we are at 184. So 71 is my first one up. Gus, you have number 1. And then let's do an alternate at 163. Tim, you got my alternate. And then the last one is our fatty. Yeah, Al. You're killing me. Okay, let's see. Refresh this page. I'm getting distracted by the chat over here. It's cracking me up. For those of you, and I'm trying to figure out, I don't know if everybody's able to get into our Facebook group chat, but it is freaking hilarious. Sometimes I'll just go on there to watch it and laugh. And I've heard from some people that sometimes it disappears. I don't know if Facebook has like some kind of punishment or regulation on the chat, but if you get a chance to get in that chat, it's a pretty fun and funny chat. It cracks me up. Okay, back to the focus. Last one. Here we go. 146 for this fat one. 21 is the first. Goodness gracious. Well, Chris really racked it up. I will imagine that on one of these, he is going to submit to an alternate. So we will pick this alternate here and see where we end up. Tony P, you have my alternate. So let us let's organize this thing real quick and see what we got. Announce all the winners. Get this nice and organized here so that you can see. So for the Yellow Westie, Sergey, I'll have to figure out what your last name is and I'll reach out to you. And again, if you see your name drawn, even as an alternate, reach out to me, let me know, hey, I'm here. It'll help it kind of go a little smoother. Yeah, sorry, distracted by the chat once again. So if you see your name on here, go ahead and reach out to me. Obviously, if you put down your text and that's the only thing you got, you'll have to wait for me to text. Or if you want to reach me on Facebook Messenger or Instagram messages, either one works great. But Sergey, you have first choice on this Yellow Westie. Josh, you've got alternate. Max, you've got the African Blackwood, first choice. Alan Clements, you're my alternate there. Chris Winter, you've got the first choice on this is the green Westinghouse. And then Stephen, you got the alternate there. Gus Kalanzas, you've got first choice on the shredded carbon fiber copper. And Tim, you got second choice there. And then Chris Winter, once again, on the titanium core Damascus one. And then Tori P, you have the alternate. So I'll be reaching out to you. It should go a little bit quicker because I don't have to wait for everybody to pick their knife. I'll just be shooting a quick message to everybody really fast. If you're an alternate, don't disappear. I have a feeling, like for example, I said, Chris may just want to grab one, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And again, watch for all the things that are coming soon. I know that sometimes lottos are hard. Lottos are a lot of fun, but as you can see, some people have a lot more luck than I do. And so, yeah, Mike got it in the chat here. He's like, Chris has been killing it this month. Indeed, he has. He has been a very lucky individual. So I'm doing this list because I know that not everybody has super great luck like Chris does. I know I don't. I never win anything. So all you guys in the chat, they're saying, I never win. Believe me, I never win either. I never, ever win. So I'm doing this list for those of you that don't win, to give you that peace of mind knowing that, hey, I can get in on something at least eventually. So watch for that. Watch for the t-shirts. Watch for the website change. And then, of course, I do, and some of you have caught on to this, I do also send out a few knives, not very many, only a couple here and there. I do send them out to a few dealers. Some of the guys that are really good, Steel Addiction Knives, Knife Joy, and I know that I'm forgetting a couple. I'm blanking them. Sorry, guys. Matt D is going to kill me. So I do send those out to a few dealers. Keep your eyes peeled for that because they do pop up, and those dealers, I send it to them because they're very reasonable with their pricing on things. Otherwise, shoot me messages. I'm going to be shooting messages. Thank you all again for participating. I cannot thank you enough. It means a lot. I know that things are tough in the world right now. Financially, things are brutal. It's hard. And what I make is a luxury thing. I know that, and I really do appreciate all of your support, all the love I get from everybody out there, and the good friends that I've made. So hopefully we can do some really fun stuff coming up. Watch for some cool things. I may not announce this later, but I am discontinuing quite a few patterns, quite a few models. So I can tell you this, maybe just a Knife Center. Thanks, Tim. Matt D was going to kill me if I didn't say Knife Center. Is one of the dealers that I send stuff to. Models that I'm keeping all of the Tengus, all of the natives, the solitudes, let me get my list to make sure that I don't say one wrong. Tengus, natives, Nebos, the hawk flippers, so some of the hawk patterns, slip joints will be gone. Solitudes, I'll be keeping my multi-blades because those are complex, like the Vaquero, the Eagle, the Arashi, some of the two-bladed patterns. I'm keeping the Wicked Lannies, Primal, and then of the Heritage series, I'm not keeping all the ones I've done, but the Zulu, the City Knife, and the Shilin are all staying. Everything else is done. I won't be making those anymore. And there may be more that drop off as time moves forward. I make new patterns. I kind of want to keep it fresh. I've got a lot of patterns in my head that I want to release. I do have a new pattern coming with Tad next month. It's going to be exciting, so watch for that. Anyway, this video has gone super long. I'm going to get to contacting people, and I hope you guys all have a great rest of your week. We're leading up to Thanksgiving, which is a very exciting time, and I'm very grateful for all of you. So have a great week, and I will see you again soon.